Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's call. I have Sofia joining me today, and I'm so excited to be sitting down with her. She's one of our grade 12 Academy students, and she's just won a couple of entrance scholarships, have a hefty amount to them, and we're so happy for her. She's won one entrance scholarship to UBC and one entrance scholarship to U of A, and she's still going to be hearing back from more in the future as well. Was there any ones that I missed there, Sophia?
No, those are the big ones that I've gotten so far, and I'm just waiting on UVic. Yeah.
UVic. Awesome, that's great. And so the purpose of today's interview is to just really show the grade 11 students or students going into the scholarship process, what that looks like for yourself and how you were successful in this process. So I'd love for you to kind of elaborate on, what your, what school you might be leaning towards and what career path you'd like to choose.
Yeah, so right now I'm leaning towards U of A or possibly UVic once I hear back from them. And I would like to, right now for my undergrad, I want to do kinesiology and then hopefully physio or something in that realm and become an athlete, physio or something like that is the goal.
Love it. I actually used to work with a lot of physiotherapists, chiropractors, RMTs. I admire their work and honestly don't know what I'd do without them. So I love when students are wanting to pursue those fields because they're just a huge help to the community. And you'll learn so many different things about the body and you're really going to help people overall. So that's amazing. Awesome. And so I want to just kind of start off with just asking you a couple of questions. Where were you at with the scholarship process and university application process before grade 12?
It was something I knew I had to do. Like looking forward to my grade 12 year, I was like, this is something I should get started on and I should do, but I didn't really know where to start. Like it's just it felt like a big, huge cloud, and I was like, I didn't really know which side to creep up to it on. It was just I just didn't know where to get started.
For sure. So you're kind of in that state of, ooh, don't really know where to get started. Who do I talk to? What does this look like? Just confusion or general curiosity of how this whole process gets started.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. And how did you get to where you're at now? So what does it take to be successful with scholarships?
I would just say diligence and just keeping it just keep going right at it and not being scared, because I feel like with me I would always I'd look at these applications and I'd start imagining this perfect student that had all these perfect experiences and all of that, and it's it wasn't me. I wasn't picturing myself. I was picturing some imaginary perfect person, and I feel just not getting too caught up in that and just being just putting my best foot forward and just believing that if I'm what they want, then they'll pick me, and just trusting in that process.
For sure. That's awesome. And it really comes down to being your own unique individual. And I can definitely see that through your applications. You've gone out into your community and you've been a leader, and it's just it really shows your work in how you've been able to kind of make yourself that unique individual on your applications and not have to worry about comparing yourself to others. That's awesome. And how do you think our program has helped you?
I think a big one was just keeping me accountable. It's so much harder to slack off when you have a whole team of people behind you that are there supporting you. So, it's not just the open tabs of the grant new pages and the emails, but it's just when you go to sit down and write the application, you're oh, I really don't want to do this. I probably won't get this anyway. Why would I even waste my time? It's well, I have to try. I have to, I'm this is my time. This is other people's times. I have to at least try and put my best foot forward, because
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah,
I love it. Yeah. Feeling, holding yourself accountable into what you need to do. And also, making sure that you're sticking to your applications, because the more you apply to, the merrier. And that's awesome how you felt like you had this whole team behind you, because you totally do. We've been monitoring students' progress, and, we send out multiple emails and reminders and have the mentorship calls just to make sure that we're pulling our weight for all of you. And so that's awesome that you felt like you had that support.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and even like when I would sit down to write my application, sometimes like I would just come downstairs and like sit beside my mom, be like, I'm gonna write my application now. Because if I sit in my room, then I like sometimes I just don't write. Like it's just not something I'm very passionate about writing in general. So having that extra little push was very useful.
Awesome. And I wanted to ask you as well, did you feel like this process got a lot easier for you over time?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like the initial steps are always hard, like looking at the application and figuring what I want to use and like where I should get started is still hard for me. But I feel like once I like break it down and be like, oh, this is I want to talk about this thing and this thing, then I can go back and use other paragraphs and just tweak them. And it like there's suddenly it's not writing like 1,000 words from scratch. It's like, oh, there's 250 words over here, this 250 words from over here, and you just put it all together and it speeds up the process for sure.
That's awesome. Well, I'm really happy to hear that. And I think that a lot of grade 11 students might not realize that at this time, but the process does get a lot easier for you. You'll be able to recycle your material and pop it into other applications.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you found that useful. That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you say is your biggest piece of advice for students just about to start this process?
I think just not to be scared or like discouraged by
Yeah.
anything. Like I feel like the scholarship, it's like it's such a daunting process because like you apply for so many things and you don't hear back. So
Yeah.
you're putting in all this effort and you don't get any positive like feedback coming back to the file. So like you can apply for so many scholarships before you hear anything from anyone. So I feel like not letting that get to you and just knowing to be consistent and to keep pushing and keep trying and the more you apply, like if you apply to everything, so like you're gonna get something, right? So just to always just keep pushing and yeah, just put your best foot forward always. Yeah.
I love that. I think that a lot of students might not realize that it's a daunting process and it's not that encouraging for a while because it's
Yeah.
about 6 to 9 months before you hear back from committees. And I can see that you've definitely stayed dedicated to this process just with the success that you've had. And so I think that's a really valuable piece of advice to other students who are about to start this, and to just keep motivated and apply to as many as you can, just because why not? Why not increase your chances and reach out for every opportunity?
Exactly. There's nothing to lose.
Yep,
At
exactly.
all.
There's nothing to lose. Keep reusing those essays and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think another one too is just to like take the whole process and break it down. Like
Yeah.
not look at it as like one big huge thing is just like slowly break it into little chunks and like one application at a time. Like I like to do month by month, so like I'll look at like the month ahead and I'll put them all in my calendar and then break them down like when do I want to get the first draft done and then like edit it and stuff like that and just slowly like breaking it down into more reasonable chunks because when you look at the whole thing it's too much.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I love that piece of advice, breaking it down step by step. Because, yeah, exactly. Like applications are going to be a little scary looking. But if you just break it down and you schedule out your whole month in advance, I think that's going to work excellent for students. And it's obviously worked for you. And I think that that advice is going to be really valuable. Just starting as early as you can and breaking it down step by step so it doesn't look as scary.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It definitely does look scary when you like step back and look at it all, but once you break it down, it really does help. It helps.
Awesome. Well, I love that so much, Sophia. And thank you so much for sitting down with me today and just chatting about how this process has been for you and your success in this in the academy. I'm really hoping that grade 11 students who are watching this really find a lot of value because I definitely think that the tips and advice that you've given are spot on and they're really going to help others in this process. So yeah, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Sophia. Bye.
Bye.